It's the holidays. They're officially here. This is Thanksgiving week, and there are lots of tempting foods to help you to break your diet. If you're trying to reduce inflammation in your arteries, if you're trying to reduce your A1C, it's a real struggle during the holiday season starting this week, as if Halloween wasn't hard enough, right? But I think Thanksgiving and going into December, I think it's even more difficult. So, Dr. Dansinger is here. For those of you who may not know, he's a world renowned diabetes reversal expert. He helps all of us with choosing the right foods to help with our artery health. He practices in New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, and Virginia, and New York, and Minnesota, and Florida. So, if you have Medicare or Medicare Advantage PPO plans, you might want to check with your system to see if you can sign up to work with him on diabetes reversal and artery health. And with all that being said, any opening thoughts today, Dr. Danzinger? We are going to look at some healthier options to some of our holiday favorites that may not be the best for reversing diabetes and with reducing inflammation.
Hi, Kim. Hi, everyone. Great topic, of course, because Thanksgiving is coming, holiday season is coming. I am excited, and many of us have mixed feelings about how to handle the time between Thanksgiving and New Year. But many of us love Thanksgiving because it's a holiday of appreciation, a holiday of family and togetherness, and every year, I am with my family on Thanksgiving, and I'm very grateful for that. And so, our Thanksgiving is a traditional one. There's a turkey, and there's all the side dishes that
Yep.
Americans typically eat on Thanksgiving. There's stuffing, there's
Mhm.
mashed potatoes, there's sweet potatoes, there's even mac and cheese.
Yep. Oh
And
boy.
if anyone ever tries to put a salad or a vegetable on there, a healthy vegetable, it typically does not get eaten. And so Thanksgiving, it can be really about balance. And um, in my patient population, we spend a lot of time strategizing about how to handle
Yep.
Thanksgiving, and there's different strokes for different folks. So those are some of my initial thoughts.
So, an initial thought here, I was doing a little bit of Instagram and YouTube surfing through the shorts. And I thought that one of the doctors that I saw online had a pretty okay tip. And he said, I just can't remember his name, it was like Dr. Eden something or other. Anyway, he was showing this anti inflammatory drink using chia seeds. And he was saying that over the holidays, if you're going to go out and splurge, if you're going to splurge, still moderation. But he said in the morning, have a glass of chia seeds that have been soaking overnight with the chia seeds and water with lemon and a little bit of ginger. And that can help you to, especially if you not only have it in the morning, but maybe before you go into the meal, it'll help with a little extra fiber for digestion, but also it'll help you to feel full faster so you're not going to stuff up on stuffing.
That sounds like a really interesting strategy. Wouldn't it be great if we could all have a beverage or a potion that would shield us from the challenges of Thanksgiving and other family meals? That just might be the closest we have right now to it. So, chia seeds. Chia, chia seeds, when done properly, can
Yep.
be a real help for our efforts to keep inflammation down and to fill ourselves with something healthy to protect us against the unhealthy treats.
So, do you have any objections, first off, to oven roasted turkey? Notice I'm not saying fried turkey.
Oven roasted turkey? Yeah, so what I especially, turkey breast is really lean, high quality protein. I think it's one of the healthier things you can eat.
Perfect. Okay. So, for those who are not into regular turkey, How about vegan turkey? Well, I wanted to play that video and it's not playing for me.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, that's okay, too bad. So I've had vegan turkey. One brand is Tofurkey. I think there's other brands too. And so
here, maybe it'll play here. There we
turkey,
go.
okay, let's see what it is.
Okay, vegan turkey.
Oui, oui.
Just a little music.
Veux-tu le ciel
There's
de
some
Capri
nutritional yeast, garlic
ou les
powder,
palais de Bengale?
white miso paste, rosemary, sage, salt, vegan chicken cubes. Okay, well, this is interesting. Vital wheat gluten. Well, not quite good for those who are gluten free.
Yeah, so this is interesting. A lot of the ingredients that go in there, starting with the beans, that's pretty healthy, right?
Yep.
And it's quite possible to make a healthy stuffing. So,
This isn't as bad as I thought. I mean, I thought it was going to be a general
right.
tofurkey, but this might actually be pretty flavorful and
Yeah.
halfway
So,
healthy. Oh, well, brown sugar. We're getting
you
worse here. But I
most Americans are eating turkey on Thanksgiving, but there's some people who either don't like turkey or they are vegan or vegetarian. So this kind of homemade, it looks delicious, right? It looks
actually it really does.
it looks like it's worth trying. It looks like it's she's done a good job making it easy to understand how the recipe works and
Yeah.
not that much work. So everything so far on that video, I'd give a thumbs up on. And gluten is just wheat protein. So it's actually, yeah, vital wheat gluten flour. So, there's some starch going on there, but um,
Did
yeah,
you notice that it
sure.
did you notice that it actually crossed the legs of the turkey, of its fake turkey? It's pretty awesome.
So
You got to
interesting
give her
that
some credit. So if you want to find out the recipe, go to Jessica in the Kitchen on Instagram. I think that was actually pretty good. I'm excited about that. But what about the sides? So here is a lemon pistachio green bean salad. Let me know if you can't see it. There it is. First up,
I
the
don't know
green
about
beans.
you, but I'm not a fan of that mushy cream of mushroom green bean casserole. So this year we're making a fresh, crunchy green bean salad with olive oil and lemon vinaigrette, herbs, pistachios, and parmesan. The acid will be so welcomed on your plate. Enjoy, and here's to being a little bit healthier. Welcome to Healthier. Thanks.
Okay, what do
that
you
looks
think about that?
great.
I know. I would actually
It
eat
looks like a
this.
really nice side dish for turkey. And if there weren't mashed potatoes and stuffing and sweet potatoes and all the other stuff, it would be easy to just go for that and enjoy it with your
If you
turkey.
didn't have all the other
But, but
distractions,
it has to compete.
that
That's the
looks
key.
actually pretty scrumptious. I
I
don't
think
know. I think I would choose it.
the key to these, healthy Thanksgiving side dishes is they have to be gorgeous and they have to be delicious in order to stand out well enough to compete. And so
Yeah.
this is a great example of how to do that.
One of the things, if you are dead set on doing the green bean casserole, is just don't use the canned cream of mushroom. Make your own. What I do is in a blender, I put in some walnuts with 1 cup walnuts, 2 cups water, blend it up really, really good. I add some nutritional yeast. I actually add some mushrooms in that blend and I let it really, really blend up. I add sometimes a little bit of arrowroot powder or some xanthan gum just to thicken it up a little bit. And then I saute it I put it or simmer, whatever you want to say. I'm not a chef. So I put it in a pan and I let it heat up. and I add in a whole bunch of mushrooms in there, chopped mushrooms, and I just let it soak. I add in my garlic and pepper and whatever herbs and spices you want to add in there. And it makes a really great cream base and it's a healthier base, I think, than a canned cream of mushroom soup.
I love it. That sounds phenomenal.
Okay. So let's grab another one. Maple balsamic roasted Brussels sprouts. I was surprised how many recipes, side dishes for Thanksgiving involved Brussels sprouts because I had never had Brussels
All
sprouts.
boxes in my book. After prepping the sprouts, you'll toss them in a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, then roast them until they're tender and crispy. They're then tossed in a simple, tangy maple balsamic sauce with some dried cranberries and creamy goat cheese that melts into every bite. These are so good, topped with some warm toasted pecans for that extra little crunch. I hope you enjoy. There's just something about fall that makes me crave Brussels sprouts, and these maple balsamic Brussels sprouts.
Me too. That looks delicious. And there were also options for roasting just roasted vegetables with onions and even including some sliced sweet potato and Brussels sprouts and, a few other goodies that you could do with a little maple glaze. I mean, a little maple balsamic, will that hurt over the holidays? I mean, compared to some of the other dishes that you could have that might spike your blood sugar a little bit more.
No, that's great. So, as we've talked about before, maple syrup in itself, it is sugar, but we use it as a condiment to make healthy foods more appealing. And
Yeah.
so, when used in moderation, a condiment like maple syrup is really an important part of transforming a healthy dish into something super appealing. I love everything about this,
Yeah, me too. I
beautiful
would eat
dish.
this.
I would
And I
happily
love that it has the walnuts for a little extra protein and the goat cheese.
right. Now, most of the dried cranberries have a little sugar added to them, and so you need to be careful with the quantities of that.
Okay, and I know you said that if there's salad on your table, no one's gonna eat it. But what about this one? This is a very festive salad. Look, it even has pomegranate.
It's beautiful. It's got holiday colors. It's seasonal. That's a nice looking salad.
And instead of
Absolutely.
the feta, I still would do the goat cheese.
To make a salad on Thanksgiving really compete well, I think it needs to be something that's not an ordinary weekday salad. I think it's got to be spectacular like this.
I think it does. And if you actually plate it right, like this person, healthy food dot worldwide, I think that with the pomegranates especially, oh my gosh, and the chopped pecans, I think that would be kind of
Pom-
delicious.
Pomegranate seeds are healthy,
Hmm.
and I favor them over pomegranate juice because the seeds have health
Ah,
properties themselves. Once you juice the seeds, you're removing one of the important parts of it, and then it starts to lose its fiber and have too much sugar.
okay. How about dessert? I was really disappointed by most of the pumpkin pies out there all requiring sugar. So the gluten-free, the dairy-free. I do like the use of the coconut cream though. Coconut whipped cream versus, dairy, but this is a dairy dish and I know that you don't mind for diabetics dairy. This includes cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, anything, and it says 1/4 cup of sweetener. He used allulose. I know you'd
Mm.
mentioned that before. So what do you think overall? Any substitutions, any concerns with this dish?
Yeah, I'm looking at the ingredients. So it's one of the healthier Thanksgiving desserts you'd come across. And I do like the use of allulose as a
Mhm.
sweetener. And pumpkin itself is healthy. Cottage cheese, low-fat Greek yogurt, an egg. This is a pretty impressive dessert. Now, some people would object to the idea of a healthy dessert on Thanksgiving, and yeah, that's a personal choice. People would say, "No, I'm just going to have my favorites." But for those who are trying to find the right balance of, strictness and freedom, I think this is a
Yeah.
winning recipe.
I was impressed. And plus, it's something that if everybody else is having a big slice of another pumpkin pie. This one is literally a personal little dish that you can bring for your own dessert. So you don't have to take a slice of theirs, and you don't have to have a bunch left over, but it's just a nice slice. It looks pretty scrumptious. And I bet you, I mean, if you can handle dairy, I can't. I'm anaphylactic to it. And I haven't found a nut substitute for cottage cheese. And cottage cheese and peaches with some pecans used to be one of my favorite lunch items. But if I was eating dairy, this looks absolutely delicious to me.
It would also be excellent just as a weekday or weekend dessert,
Mhm.
non-holiday. And so, it might be competing with all sorts of, favorite traditional pies and stuff. But for it looks healthy enough to eat it pretty regularly as a dessert.
I have an even better, healthier dessert, which I think is kind of fun. It's vanilla Greek yogurt. Underneath is the base. I think that maybe along with whatever pumpkin pie or pecan pie, I think people would grab a spoonful of berries and yogurt.
That looks gorgeous, right? It looks like a holiday wreath, and
Right.
look at those vivid colors. And when it comes to vanilla Greek yogurt, you can go very wrong if you're not careful, if you're
With the
getting
sugar.
sugary. But a lot of people like the vanilla Greek yogurt that's sweetened with stevia, and that tastes pretty good. So you need to just be mindful of how much added sugar there is in the Greek yogurt, and mint, fresh mint. Most of
Oh,
us
yeah.
should, you know, mint is a nice luxury. Fresh mint is a nice luxury. A lot of people grow it themselves, either
Mhm.
indoors or
It grows
outdoors.
like a weed. Yeah.
Right.
It
It's
keeps
got
on
to be in
growing.
its own pot so it doesn't take
Yep.
over the yard or the garden. But
But you can get a really good forager, has a great unsweetened natural vanilla bean yogurt that you can get for the bottom. And I think that this is also, Dr. Dansinger, the case where the presentation is key. If you want people to consume it, you need to make it look pretty. And I would think that this laid out on a table, I think that people would be attracted to having just at least one scoopful of the berries and yogurt.
how absolutely, how long do you think it would take someone to prepare that?
If it has to look pretty, I mean, I would think it could take maybe 5 minutes to
Yeah,
throw it
right.
on there.
Right. That is a
And
fun, if right, if you know what to do, that looks like it takes 5 minutes to make it.
yep, could be really simple and it's really healthy. Berries are the healthiest for you. Good antioxidants, gives you a little punch over the holidays. Makes you feel good about the mashed potatoes. But you had a great idea for something instead of mashed potatoes that you turnips. And I tried that and it really worked. You know what I did was I got some unsweetened coconut milk and I used that when I did my turnip
Hmm.
mash, and it was absolutely delicious.
Absolutely. Turnips have about a third of the many people are quite familiar with turnips. They have about a third of the um, carbs as
Hmm.
white potatoes, and they're beautifully white if you boil them. If you roast them, they turn a beautiful light brown color. Or
Yep.
I like to saute them in just a little bit of olive oil, and I add salt and pepper, and
Ooh,
then I mash them. And so you're going to get
okay.
a brown, light brown colored um, alternative to mashed potatoes. And that's my favorite way of doing it. The sweetness of the turnip really comes out nicely that way.
So good because I think that actually plain potatoes can be a little bland, which is why he liked to lather them in butter. But with the turnips, I didn't need to add butter. So I was really, really excited. So you've really turned me on to those. So I have one more treat for you. This one I thought was really fun, really creative. I'd never seen this before. It's a 4-ingredient warm date caramel. Look at this. It's actually made out of pitted dates. You soak the dates, you add them to the blender with a little bit of dairy-free milk or whatever your milk choice would be, some vanilla extract, some little bit of coconut oil, and some sea salt. That looks really good.
Yes, it does. So blended dates, right? You need a good blender, but
Yeah,
blended
you do.
dates, there's so many recipes that use blended dates and nuts or nut milks. So
Mhm.
that's a nice looking dessert.
Okay, so Beth is asking about sweet potato pie. What do you think about sweet potato pie?
Delicious. It's hard to make it healthy because of all the sugar. So sweet potatoes I'm not going to complain about. I mean, there's some starch in there. But sweet potato pie, it's going to have a crust, which is going to be starchy, and it's
Hmm.
going to have butter and or some kind of fat in there and sugar. And so it's going to be hard to make a healthy, sweet potato pie. Most people would just say I love sweet potato pie. It's something I grew up with, and I'm just going to have a sliver. And so those are my thoughts. It's going to be hard to make. One can make a healthy sweet potato pie.
And she's also, so she says for her mashed potatoes, she uses low fat cream cheese and very little skimmed milk. What do you think?
Great, excellent way to. I've done that many times with turnips or with pureed broccoli. Is use low fat or even the fat free cream cheese.
Yeah, and I would be curious, Beth, if you could try the turnips and let me know what you think and see, because I know you really like the mashed potatoes, and it's always hard to switch, right? Once you're already used to a flavor of something. But I think you're going to really like the turnips. My dad and I actually we couldn't even tell the difference, except that I did like the flavor a lot better with the turnips. It was just a lot sweeter. And I like sweet, so that worked out really well for me. And I do have one more little surprise here. I'm curious. We all you need to have some sort of mocktail or something. And I thought this was very creative, um, for the holidays.
Season, you need to make these festive pomegranate cubes to make the most gorgeous pomegranate mimosas. The best part is that your drinks stay nice and cold and won't get watered down thanks to the juice in the cubes instead of water. And if you're looking for a non-alcoholic option, swap the Prosecco for ginger beer and you've got a delicious holiday mocktail. Make sure to save this post, tag a friend, and follow along for more ideas.
I thought it was
This
kind of
holiday
creative.
season, you need to make these festive pomegranate cubes to make the most gorgeous pomegranate mimosas. The best part is that your drinks stay nice and cold and won't get watered down thanks to the juice in the cube.
Okay, so I know
Very-
you said you don't like the pomegranate juice as much, but when you think about the alternatives, and I say don't go after the Prosecco, I would say go after a little Pellegrino, maybe with it, and then add these to the Pellegrino.
Yeah, I like your idea. So those ice cubes are beautiful. They're festive. They have
Mhm.
pomegranate seeds in there,
Yep.
and there's also a lot of sugar because of the pomegranate juice. So if your drink is calorie free, except for those ice cubes, that's the way to do it.
Yep. And you're also diluting, right? The pomegranate juice, so you're not getting as much of the sugar versus drinking it straight. This one you'll like better. So immunity cubes. And I would say you could add these immunity cubes to a little bit of Pellegrino as well, and it can make for a really nice, um, you know, inflammation fighting drink. And you can have it hot or you can have it cold. Looks like
I,
a few oranges and lemons and turmeric and ginger.
the color is beautiful. It's hard to see what's in there. So,
Here you go. So carrots, lemons,
yeah.
orange, raw ginger, a little bit
Mhm.
of honey. If you're doing honey, I do not cook with honey. if I'm doing honey, I will add a little bit afterwards, but you have preferred sugars other than honey, including allulose, and I think the other one was it stevia?
Yes. So those cubes, those look terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a little bit of honey in there. Okay, fine. You're diluting it with all that hot water.
Yep. And as I said, you could do it cold. I've done it cold and I just put it over a little, put the ice cube in the Pellegrino, and it was absolutely delicious.
There's
Let's see
so
if I have
many
a
different.
few other tricks up my sleeve. Oh, this is the other one. This one we'll end on because I thought you would get a kick out of this.
Latte has 440 calories, 54 grams of sugar. It's the same amount of sugar in 2 Mars bars, 5 Krispy Kreme donuts, and half a liter of Coke, which is why I'm coming in to show you how to take all of your favorite drinks from 440 calories down to under 100 calories without sacrificing a lick of taste. So we're gonna get straight into this. As always, make sure you drop a follow if you love these hacks, because I'll be sharing a whole lot more this holiday season. Let's kick it off with the peppermint mocha latte. Ooh. Oh my gosh. We're going to take this drink down from 440 calories all the way down to 100. First up, you're going to order a tall Americano in a grande cup, 1 pump of mocha. I just couldn't wait. 1 pump of peppermint, ask for steamed almond milk, and then you add 1 to 2 0-cal sweeteners. Voila, you've just taken your peppermint mocha latte for
Okay, so I still would argue that this is not healthy because you're adding in still 2 pumps of syrup in a tall cup along with additional sweeteners.
This is a great example of what I call a middle ground solution, right? So
You're you're so
water.
diplomatic, doctor.
So
So
I'm not gonna.
diplomatic.
We're all on a journey, right? And
Yes.
if you're drinking these full calorie drinks on a daily basis, you'll pay the price later. But in terms of your health. But water or black coffee or black tea. Now these are healthy beverages, and then there's whole range of middle ground, right? And so
Mm,
I think it's very helpful to have these middle ground solutions um, for when the occasion is right. Having
yeah.
said that, I mean, those drinks aren't healthy.
No, not at all. But at least I do like you can make them healthier. So, when we talk to all of the folks who have PAD and diabetes out there, and you're talking about the holidays, and everyone has a little bit of a cheat. But the key really is how can you make them just that much healthier? So it's less of a cheat than a whole cheat, but still tastes good and is satisfying. I mean, if you're I mean, you could argue, you know what, if you're going to go for it, go for the whole thing. But 440 calories is a pretty big cheat.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, for many people, the best is just to not go there at all.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to Thanksgiving, many people are going to um, throw caution to the wind and eat whatever they want and relax and enjoy. Some of those people are going to turn it into a 4-day holiday, which is a feeding frenzy, which I think is a mistake. But for many people who are focused and well controlled throughout most of the year, these family get togethers are a nice time just to relax and not worry about your diet. Um, for others, the best way to handle Thanksgiving is to stay strong and just focus on turkey and vegetables. And if you need a little bit of dessert, have a healthy one. Go for that fruit and the fruit wreath, and you'll still walk out satisfied. Regardless, we all have a lot to be thankful for,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful to live in a place where we're free to decide how we want to eat, and there's never been a better time to access healthy ingredients all year round.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely great advice. I mean, but everything, of course, in moderation. If you need to have that taste of dessert, just don't eat a huge slice. Just have a little bit of self-control. And just know there is more where that came from. And maybe, the next day you can have another tiny slice, but just don't eat it all at once because you will not feel good the next day or the next day or the next. And then you're going to see your doctor at the start of the new year and they're going to say, you got to cut out everything. And you don't want that to happen. So, with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us. I wish you a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for you, Dr. Dansinger. I'm thankful for all of you and our live studio audience for tuning in, and all of you tuning in for YouTube as well. About the new year and signing up with Dr. Dansinger, diabetesreversalpartners.com. If you're in New York, if you're in Massachusetts, if you're in New Hampshire, Florida, Minnesota, or Virginia, and you have Medicare or Medicare PPO Advantage plans, it's covered by insurance. The services are covered for diabetes reversal with insurance. So definitely check it out. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe.